Alright, YouTube, I know you remember this car. Finally got the rims on there. Not going to drop the car yet because I'm doing a leak test. Just make sure this car is on hold pressure for the next 2 or 3 days. Make sure it stays up, because the car does go all the way down overnight. This is the new setup because she wanted to make sure that she still had music back there. Sorry for the lighting if it's crappy, I can't see anything. Put 2 compressors, 3.5 gallons, 2 water traps. Had to redo all the hard lines. Coming out good. Basically had a couple of leaks for the last couple of weeks, so I finally had time to bring her in and look at it. So I put a compression to hard line. I had a quick 3 connect on there. It was leaking from there. Another connection right there that was leaking. And then the 2 main feeds that go into the manifold itself, that was leaking as well. So went ahead and put a couple of compressors on there. And I do have a video of the leak, so I'll put that on there in a minute. And then I'm gonna fix all these wires sometime Monday, make it nice and neat. I think our plan is that this one fuse is not good enough for these 2 compressors. That's an 80 amp. So I'm going to be taking that out. What I want to do is, got 2 more fuses over here. These are 2 80 amps. So I'm going to run each compressor off its own fuse. So at least if something happens, one compressor shuts off and not both. And then you have an option whether if you want to run both of them or just one. Once I do that, I'm going to clean up all this wiring. You know, this right here was just a temporary setup because when I redid the whole air ride setup on this car, being that the box was there, she was kind of in a rush that day, so I had to hurry up and throw everything together last minute. So this was like a 1-day project. You know, so now the next step being that I finally had time to mess around with this car. I'm gonna fix all that wiring. It's not so bad. It looks a lot messier than what it is, but it's just because these wires are a lot longer than what they should be. So they need to be cut down and organized so that they look a lot nicer. And then after that, I'm going to get rid of this distribution block because we don't need that no more. Because now, you know, both those red wires go to the compressors. That's going to move to the fuse, and then from the fuse straight to the battery. And then the other power wire that's there, that's going to move to the battery post as well. So all that should clean up nicely. I'm keeping the video short and simple today, but reliable, it works. Haven't had no issues besides the leaking for the last maybe week or so, or for the last 3 or 4 weeks, because we put the music back there and being at someone's base, you know, I wasn't surprised that some things were gonna leak, so we had to redo everything and redo some things, to revise some things. But I'm gonna leave this up for the next couple of days. Make sure everything stays full. Yep. The tank is still at 200 psi, so that's a good thing. So now we just sit and wait. That's for that for the team. As far as my car goes, it was fresh out the body shop, but I was waiting to do the front lip, and somebody got me. So look at the fender, fresh damage. This is from the other day. This is an air result, so some lady had backed into me. Done to my door pretty good. I don't know if you can see it, but done to my door pretty good when she hit my car. At least in the meanwhile, keeps me trying to fix this fender. For some reason, we're gonna have to use some kind of epoxy primer instead of the primer we're using now, because it's causing the paint to lift up, but only on this side. The paint is lifting up on. So we're gonna redo both fenders, make them a lot wider than what they are, being that now we got the opportunity to do that. Front lip's gonna be on there in the next couple of weeks. I'm doing that at the same time the car's in the body shop. And then last time, I don't think you guys seen it, but finally got the doors done in Alligator. And we're gonna be doing the steering one in Alligator sometime this week coming up. So it matches. We also got rid of that horrible gauge in the back, so I can see how much air my car has in the front. So we got the voltage meter. Then we have the air gauge right there. A little off though, you know, for the company being Air Zenith, I didn't go with a cheap gauge, I went with a good one. Some reason about this gauge, my pressure switch shuts off 180, but some reason this gauge, when my tank shuts off at 180 at the pressure switch, the gauge is showing that it has 172 and it should be 180, so that gauge is just a little bit off, but yeah, that's what I did. Now, just a regular pillar pod that I cut just so it can fit that corner nicely, because you know they come universal, but they don't really fit the newer cars because the pillars are like a lot wider. That's what I did with the one on the bottom, and I just jammed the screw in the bottom, being that no one's really gonna see that. But that's the update, YouTube, so you know what? We'll be back with another one.